announced the vaccine commercialization in Mexico. That's Oxford Charlie Gulf. $3.15 now on Oncogen OCGN. DGLY, Digital Ally, out with their results.
This blue and yellow indicator
Digital
is
Ally reporting
volume profile. Basically gives me volume at levels rather than time intervals. So I know how much volume has been traded at the 165 mark over the amount of time that I have available to see. So if I want to know from the start of this structure where the point of control is, that's exactly what I would do. Like that.
Waiting for those numbers on Digital Ally. CYXRX, Crowdport acquires selling company Bioservices for 6.2 million euros. That's Charlie Yankee Romeo X-ray.
What doing?
RX.
Getting ready to trade.
Celsius naming a new CFO. Charlie Echo Lima Hotel.
Yeah, they did lift restrictions for Shanghai for the Tesla factory. Alrighty, well,
GWRS, Global Water Resources,
I'm gonna go ahead and quiet this guy.
With a company in Pima County, Arizona. That's
all right, so let's go ahead and get started, guys, with our news over here. Where did Discord just go? There you are. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, with our news really quickly. Does it work all the time? This is what? Yeah. I mean, it's just data, so yeah, it works.
Biologic Scorpion subsidiary.
All right. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna restart the stream.
Biomanufacturing facility. That's Hotel Tango. Bravo X-ray HDVX.
All right. So let's get started here. So before the bell, U.S. equity futures fell as Treasury yields continue to climb to multi-year highs. Meanwhile, Chinese stocks ended lower, with investors disappointed about smaller than expected cut in reserve requirement ratio, and Japan's Nikkei fell, dragged down by losses in technology shares. Major European bourses were closed for Easter. The dollar strengthened against its peers, supported by a more hawkish Federal Reserve. And commodities, concerns over the economic fallout from the Russian-Ukraine war and surging inflation pushed gold prices higher. Hopefully you guys took Rolly's gold calls. He's all over that. Oil edged lower as worries over slowing demand in China balanced support for concerns over tight global supply and deepening Ukraine crisis. Boy. So DD sets shareholder meeting on May 23rd to vote for U.S. delisting plans. DD will hold an extraordinary general meeting, or EGM, on May 23rd to vote for its delisting plans in the United States. That was their statement. Bank of America post drop in first quarter profits. Bank of America reported a fall in the first quarter profits as a slowdown in global deal making weighed on investment banking businesses. Musk tweets, "Love me Tinder," days after Twitter takeover offer. Elon tweeted, "Love me Tinder," an Elvis Presley song a day after Twitter adopted the poison pill to protect itself from the billionaire's $43 billion cash offer to buy the social media company. U.S. bank and commodity trading exposures rise on Russian conflict. Wall Street banks' commodities and trading exposure are rising, which could leave them vulnerable to large swings in asset values following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The case test for Pfizer's Paxlovid, which is for treating long COVID, reports of 2 patients found relief from long COVID after taking Pfizer's antiviral Paxlovid, whatever it's called, including a researcher who tested it on herself, providing intriguing evidence for the clinical trials to help those suffering from debilitating conditions. What's up? Good morning, everybody. Activision Blizzard also stated that they would cooperate with federal investigators into insider trading by friends of its chief executive shortly after the gaming company disclosed the sale of Microsoft. Apple shipment of some Apple products, including Dell and Lenovo laptops, are likely to face delays in China's COVID-19 lockdown persists, analysts have said. Foxconn already seeing that, unfortunately. So, all right. Try to see if there's anything else. Manufacturers, obviously, including Tesla, have prepared to reopen their Shanghai plant. As China's most populous city speeds up efforts to get back to normal after a nearly 3-week COVID shutdown. All right. That's about it. Again, the economic calendar for today at 10 o'clock, we got the NHAB Housing Market Index. That's kicking off our Monday. Earnings season does technically start for real this week. But of course, today we just had Bank of America. Not really a Charles Schwab player. That's something that you do. Good luck, because I never played it, or likely wouldn't take a trade on that one. But Netflix, which everybody is talking about, is tomorrow after the bell. I imagine the IV is just going to be doing a few things. You're likely going to be rising today, depending on the overall market. You fall hard enough, and that IV will leave very quickly. So be quick, be careful. A lot of these stocks are going to start. The open interest is going to start building up quite quickly. So. Anyway, sorry about that. So we've got our earnings calendar. Again, this is the start of earnings week, but really next week is the full dive into earnings season, as you guys can see here. Pretty loaded on that one. Again, economic calendar, nothing going on. We do have the Fed talking today, so that can impact us. As far as my watch list is concerned, so already off the bat, I'm not sure if anybody swung it with me, but we're going to be watching BABA below 92.75. That is BABA to the downside. Looking for this one to climb into a gap potentially, or if anything, hit that support. Now, I do think that having Didi talking about delisting doesn't add to the sentiment or help much at all. I would also add that BABA has broken out of its trend line. So there was a once upon a time trend. This has been verifiably broken, and I will be watching BABA both for a gap fill potentially to the upside at first, but then ultimately a leg to the downside. JD is among those. JD has a little bit more of a tighter or more compact setup here currently. But it is down at my price target that I gave you guys last night. So 55.50, if you guys recall, and then 54.80. 54.80, that's where we need JD to break into, and that will be a gap. It will have levels like the 54 even and ultimately 53.10. Got Microsoft on the watch list today as well. This one is holding from our analysis that we talked about last night. We talked about the potential of more than likely slamming down to 276, possibly even 270. I have 271.40. This one we're going to be watching. And one important thing that you can do right now, is go mark and find where those pre-market highs, pre-market lows are. Looks like pre-market highs for us is going to be 279.98 or 280, which is a psychological number as well. And then pre-market lows are going to be below 277 or 278. So if you're trying to find entries and exits at the bell, oftentimes those will serve as good marks. But anyway, if this has 1, 2, 3 rejections off the top, and this was a definitive break to the downside, we'd be waiting for possibly a small retest of that 280 and then a rejection and pullback. So watching the 15-minute, it's Monday. You can sit and you can watch and you can wait. And especially if you swung with either me or Rollman or whomever, Rollman has a couple of trades already, so he's starting off the day, the week green. So Longeveron partners with U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs for its Phase 2 Alzheimer's trial. LGVN, Longeveron. They have not moved here in pre-market. Yeah, fundamentals always catch up, but yeah. Please come to my home quickly. What the fuck? What? Okay, that was weird. All right, anyway, so we've got Microsoft to both sides. So let me make that clear. Um, both sides, I'll take it above. There's, of course, not very, if you're looking for high probability, you have to know the difference, right? High probability is going to be this breaking out, right? Or breaking down. High probability is going to know that there's a bounce off 280, right? It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Um, Daily chart doesn't look good on anything. I see engulfments from last week, so I see another leg down. 276 but we are still inside of a lot of data. So I mean, I agree. There there's a room to move within the overall structure right now, which we are still in, and have to break. The next leg down for Microsoft guys, below 270 and 261.50 easy. And I would go long. I would likely take a longer expiration contract, and then just play it. So all right, so we've got Microsoft. Last one that I've got, and I do have Twitter on the watch list, but I think this one's hot dog water, to be honest with you. This right here, SQ, beautiful setup right now, downtrend, HMA rolling with it, moving averages rolling with it. So I want to see SQ down below 119.75 to drop into the 112s, 115s, and then ultimately move back up for a tap of resistance. So um, now Tesla did just announce that news. So I will have Tesla on watch, but I'm just telling you guys that if it goes below 970, for sure, I would say that a good solid level is going to be 950 easy, 950 easy for Tesla. So if you're day trading Tesla today, this one has a great setup. You just can't watch too many stocks. Um, at some point, that becomes a bad idea. So. ES is just the features for SPY, essentially. Yeah, I trade on earnings sometimes, so. Alrighty, Potter stocks, thoughts on Nvidia. Yeah, I have looked at it. You're at support. So we know a couple of things. What happens at support? Bounces usually happen at support. We did see an aggressive push down, but look at pre-market, right? This is actually why being up early and knowing how things are moving is so important. Ask Rollman. You know what? Here, I'll just throw it out there. The only people that ever say that you don't need to wake up early for the stock market, or at least to some regard, to mark out your levels, do a little bit of extra work, are young kids. I no offense, to anybody who's a young kid, because you might not say that, but I'm talking about influencers and people like you just do all the work at night and then you just do it and then you just wake up and trade. Like, no, that's not how getting an idea, getting these levels, getting an idea of how you're moving, right? So if the overall market has dropped down and Nvidia is still holding support, what does that tell you? That obviously people aren't trying to take it below that support. And last night's movement wasn't enough to drag it down any further. But it also shows a divergence, right, from the overall market, and it's also a stock that we have seen absolutely pummeled. Um, so we either consolidate further or today we break. If it's inside, so this is the tough thing, right? I wouldn't, due to the candle setups here, I wouldn't be taking this thing to the upside. I wouldn't be trading it period to the upside, probably if at all, because just due to the trajectory, I don't like to go against the grain. Just like if a stock is moving to the upside, I'd rather wait for a pullback to buy. I'd rather wait for a bounce to short, right? So if you bounce up today and you reject 226 and we absolutely plummet, or if you bounce up today and you hit just 220 and you end up pulling back and reversing and going towards that 210 support, all right, and then Nvidia looks good. I have 205.72. There's a wick right there. And I'm trying to be conservative here, because it has fallen so much. But then 203, I would say 200 ultimately would be the next level there. So, but yeah, you can see right here, really, really clean. We've been here multiple different times. So if we're gonna fall and we're gonna break, it's likely gonna be right here. There is also the potential, right? Earnings season is right here. So let me throw one more thing out for you. There is the potential, right, that we hit resistance one more time. And look at that, right? So you could end up building like a head and shoulders, right? So again, daily engulfment candle. So you either break to the downside today, or you probably are gonna bounce. And of course, listen, and this is where I think I talked to a couple of people about this, but like you do not need to take the fact that there's no setup personally. All right, no setup, no trade, and that's good on you. You're doing well. You're making the right choices, and that's going to likely increase the probability for you getting those gains that you're looking for. No. DM me. Yeah, just DM me. Um, I just lost my train of thought. But anyway, that's the video for you. Currently at support. You guys know how I feel about support. Oh, that's what I was saying. Don't, just like when days are choppy and we don't have good trading days, don't take it personal. All right. If there's no trade and you have to walk away, that's just walk away. Just walk away. That's it. And it is the hardest thing to do. And I'm gonna always repeat this, guys. Probably just gonna be a morning thing that I do, and have been doing anyway. But like, please, guys, don't just take what you see when you see it, and when you don't see anything, don't take it personally. If you don't see anything, or you did see something and you took it and you got shaken out, or you ended up exiting, don't take it personally. It's going to happen, and the sooner that you get okay with dealing with those type of things, as in life, the sooner that you better prepare yourself emotionally to get through these type of these situations, and better take advantage of those opportunities. So are you really Delaware baseball? I've always wanted to go to Delaware, mostly because I feel like it's not real. You got a reading group? Yeah, we call it a reading rainbow. No, I have a Discord group. Yes, link is in bio. It is free. There is a premium side, yes. Can I look at Google? I think it is a very good buy for a swing trade. Yes, I will. I did want to add one thing here, guys. I'm gonna add Facebook, because it does have that falling wedge. I don't know if you guys remember last night I talked about it. It's got the cup and handle type setup. If it's gonna bounce, it's gonna flip and reverse. I really would like to see that bounce at 208, right? And it's fallen so much that it seems like at this point we should, right? We should get a reversal. So watch 214, depending on where we open, because honestly, I would say 212 and then 214, and then I would anticipate a 50% reversal to 221 for Facebook. So I'm gonna set some alerts really quick. I think being realistic is a good way to, for me anyway. I'm just trying to be a realist about certain things. And just accept. I mean, I don't know. I just there just comes a point where you either accept it or you don't, right? There's no in between. You accept that there's not always an opportunity, and you learn how to recognize that, or you don't recognize it and you don't admit it, and you just struggle forever. That's not a little dark. Anyway, this one, like most of everything else right now, is currently near or around support. Google is at the 20, I'd say it's getting closer to 2500 support, and that's likely where it wants to go and hit based on the trajectory that I see right now. That's not saying that it can't reverse, but looking at the overall price action last week, and the close on Friday, does look like you have downside first. So possibly this week could be red to green. I just did analysis on Nvidia. It's on my YouTube. Yeah, so you're at support, and obviously we don't short support for good reason, right? Why don't we short support? Well, the buyers are there, right? And we don't want to take the opposite position as everybody is waiting, right? It really sometimes is like as simple as this, right? You get a lot of new people, they buy at a certain price, let's say 30, and it breaks to $32. A lot of people are going to put a stop, as it leaves 30 at 30. Um, so like that will serve as a level of or excuse me, a lot of people will not put their stop, but a lot of people will actually, buy back at 30, or buy the dip at 30, especially if you break past it. I've talked about that before, where once you break past a key level or a psychological level, oftentimes consolidating above it is the most bullish thing you could do. So same thing there. Yeah, I think I got 2 or 3 hours of sleep last night. A little tired. Why do you chart one stock on 4 hour and the next at 1 day? So some stocks I've already looked at. So don't make a mistake of thinking that I am just doing this. I already know what the stock looks like on the daily. Whenever you get done charting on the daily, the 4 hour serves as a clear look into the price action that's going on. So that's how I would explain that. So it just it makes it a little bit more clear, and I think that once you see the overall setup, it's important to see whether or not that is truly possibly going to come to fruition. So as far as my favorite passive income, I mean, I gotta say SPY. Because I mean, I did actually make a lot of money, and I think I've told you guys this before. When I first started trading, I took profit on this last year, but when I first started trading, right, I figured out a little loophole for myself where now this might not work in every climate, but at that climate, it was about as sure as the sky is blue. Um, you trade that week, right? I do like ABML. I like it long term. Um, you trade that week. If you're green that week, right? And this was with $500, right? If you're green that week, or if you take that $500 to your target. So my target usually was 10 grand. I wanted to take 500, get to 10 grand, and then possibly even start over again, maybe with a higher amount, but mostly just restarting. When I did that over and over again, because I knew that I had already done it and then kept going and lost, I've already done it, kept going and failed. I'd already done it, kept the money in there and continued to trade and failed. I realized that I had a problem psychologically with the price. I couldn't do it. I couldn't I don't know, it just was getting in my head the fact that there was extra money in there. So I just started buying it, putting it all into SPY. And every time that would happen, I would leave myself with $500 of buying power, and the goal was to take the buying power, obviously, to that goal. And then at some point, if you do that, and I can tell you guys, it's not, oh, I'm just gonna flip this account. No, I and other people, if anybody ever tells you that always every account always wins, no, there have been small account challenges that have failed, and they're going to fail because they don't work, or there are certain strategies that don't work with a small account. And so when you're in that process, it's not going to be a straight line. But once you find something that works, right? If it's not broken, don't fix it. Stick to it and get that system in place. And once it took a minute. I'm telling you guys, it took a minute to fit in to my own system, and realize what that was. But once you do, then it becomes easy to make those adjustments, and start to be like, okay, what am I reacting to? What am I reacting that's not allowing me to um, make those right decisions? So Potter stocks, not Potter crypto. Yeah, I'm not. So I mean, like I chart crypto. To be honest with you, I just follow futures. Um, but if you ever have a question about anything along those lines, um, I would just save your breath and ask somebody who's better than I am at it, because I really feel like I don't have much to offer in that space. Um, as far as my opinion, I've always been and still am deliberating. So it's constant state of observation. Charting it and trading it's not of any interest to me. I can scalp, and if I was set on that, I could just do scalps, and make good returns there. So guys, I am live on YouTube right now. So if you guys are on TikTok here, you guys can actually see the chart here. Too bad. Oh. Somebody asked me about HYMC. I already have this one charted in a channel. Watch it above 240. A break above 240. I think you could see the 360 range. Anywhere below 185, and HYMC more than likely is going to go and fill the gap to 137. Forex, not very often, no. No, not really, no. Okay, Google calls for a reversal. 2606 would be the first level. I would say a candle close above 2600 would be I mean, you're in a downtrend, right? So if anything, we could see pullback first, red to green. So I'm kind of thinking red to green, to be honest with you. I'm thinking red to green, but we'll see. But that's where I would say that. And then I would say a level to watch is 2665. All right. I'm not sure where Manny is, or if he's going to be live today. Might be taking a break. He did cover for me almost all of last week. So
TSLA CASA system hitting the highs down.
oh yeah, he won't be live today. Okay, it's all good. All right. Well, I'm gonna take a quick intermission. It's the morning. I'm gonna go grab my coffee. Uh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. What's up? What's up, everybody? I don't remember doing that. How do I get those screens? I get them from tradingview.com. But I'm gonna go ahead, go use the restroom, grab some stuff really quickly. I'm not sure if Atlas will be on. Let me see. Yeah. Go check your DMs, top shelf.
EAC, Bank of America CFO, said future expenses are expected to be monitored down to line.
Make sure you hit that little microphone button. Oh, not like that. We're seeing what we can do here. All right. If you guys are here with us on TikTok, I'm going to take the TikTok stream down here for just a moment. We still have about 30 minutes here till the bell. You guys can join us live on YouTube. The link is in the bio. And I will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and get ready for the morning. Grab coffee and a couple more things. So I've self disappeared. We'll see. All right, be right back. Yeah, Rolly hopped off though on exit, I think. All right. No, I don't think Twitter's going to sell the company to Elon. I don't. I think they would have to remove a lot of big players from that company's holdings. So I ain't going nowhere. The bathroom is occupied right now.
BICI, Beachy Properties filed for mid-shelf size not disclosed that Victor in Raleigh, India, BICI.
Yeah, so real quick, guys, this is a great time to go look at the news. Find these levels. If you can't find the levels, use pivot point. If you have anybody else, that's in the Discord and has the same watch list, maybe share your levels with each other. Double check. But this is where you come up with your plan. All right. You either take what the market gives you, and what you see. Don't make up anything. Don't make up stuff. But if you see it, look for that opportunity for that entry, exit, and that stop loss. This is the time to do it. So.
EAG and letter F, Inskeep Truck Leasing says it announced it has ordered 750 all-electric Ford East Transit cargo van. That's Papa Alpha Golf and the
There you go. Roman, you're if you want to hop on, I'm in the bathroom, but you're muted. I'm not in the bathroom right now. I'm by my computer, but yeah, I don't think that's a good move for him. So, for Elon, I'll be right back.
ELCT Blue City announced receipt of updated preliminary non-binding proposal. Blue City has received a preliminary non-binding proposal letter dated April 18th from the company's founder and Metaclass Management ELP. Reducing the proposed purchase price from $3.70 per share or $1.05 per share.
Alrighty.
$1.20 to $1.60.
I'm back on. Alrighty. So just to give you guys quick, if I know there's some people just hopping on with us. This week is hopefully the last busy week that I have, of course, with the move and stuff like that. So if you guys I'll be doing more quick trading at the bell. Same thing Monday, Wednesdays, Tuesday. Tuesday night will be busy. Wednesday will be relatively busy for me as well as Thursday. But things will be back to normal for the most part on starting next week. So we're still gonna make money, but it's not gonna be the whole time. All right, let me pull up this real quick. If you're, in your opinion, do you feel like Twitter is going to sell the company? Oh, sorry, I read that already. All right, does anybody have any requests? We've got some time here before the bell. If you guys have anything that you are watching at the bell, I can take a look at that right now and we can find some key levels. I did look at Microsoft, yes, and it's on the watch list today. It's holding support, so. All right, let's see here. So we know that AMD is in this channel. Let's go look at pre-market. All right, so we've got a pre-market low on AMD at 91.80. You've got a pivot right below that at 90.75, and I would imagine that that is in line. Let's see. Yeah, so that is close to my support that I have marked out here. So 91.50, and I would say 91.50 is actually going to be a relatively strong level, but 91.84, 91.50, and then you've got that $90 level right below it. But you are technically still very close. If you take extended hours trading off, you'll see you're very close. So anywhere above 94.60, and I mean above it, so not at it. So at 94.60, 94.75, like you can expect a retest there. That is the level that you broke on Friday. Ceiling becomes the floor, floor becomes the ceiling. So if you retest that, you're in danger of breaking that downtrend, of course. But if you get that rejection and then drop, you could use those pre-market lows for that continuation to the downside. So I would just keep it. It's Monday. Watching these hourly candles close, 15-minute candles close will probably be useful in getting an idea of where direction is going to be heading for AMD. So, but 90 is in my opinion almost like a magnet in this case, where we're probably going to get pulled into it. So, Microsoft. So I have this set up right now. I talked about it already. I talked about it last night, and I said that if we gapped down, and how we opened up was going to be pretty important. on moving forward. Now I have a resistance in line with this pivot point that's 284, and you can kind of see this little pattern that I have set up. What I did see is there was 3 rejections off the top. So this might be dead, but there is the possibility for one more. So basically something like this, right? Before then falling or reversing. And this is a wedge. So if it does actually reverse today and climb above, I would say 281.14, then you've got the key level of 283.15 and then 285. Nvidia is moving like we're open already. I use pivots all the way down. But anyway, it is currently in this small pattern right here. So if it trades inside of it today, guys, there is a trade available for, possibly going out for next week's contracts, targeting that resistance. But of course, you're still looking at the daily where you're going to be wrapped inside. So whenever you're looking at a structure break, that's when you get those moves that you're looking to trade. If we bounce and start pulling back up, maybe like a 295 pullback, then of course that makes trading conditions a bit more difficult because you're essentially still trading in that you could say lower time frame point of controls, but also just an area, a demand zone, supply zone, depending on where you're at. But right here, you can see 315 to 275. So if you do not continue lower, then more than likely these trading conditions are going to be a little bit rougher. So I'd like to see a definitive break personally, looking at Microsoft. I'd like to see us open up, possibly retest that 281.50 and then fall. And I'm looking at a target right here. There's actually a gap fill, a very small gap to 276.18. So I don't know if you guys are kind of getting the gist of what I'm saying right now, but it looks like these opens might be not the easiest to trade immediately. It could be a bit of push and pull before we finally get a sense of direction. But hard level for Microsoft, 285. And then to the downside, I'd want to break that 278.75 or pre-market lows in order to go and fill that gap down to 276. Ultimately, if you lose to 276, I'd be looking for S3, which is 271.70. So, Tesla. Thank you, guys. All right, so I've talked about Tesla here a couple of times, but we'll keep this quick. All right, here's your little structure. Okay, now there is a couple of wicks above it, and of course this level of 1025. But here's the deal. In pre-market here so far, we ended the day with an hourly bear flag. But the beautiful thing here is that we have couple little boxes to watch. So right there, that's 993.34. 993.34, that's where Tesla would need to break to the upside. And that's literally starting here, lower time frame at the bell. That's not a complete reversal, but that's just a point in which we would have to close above and push in order to be bullish. You can see right here, we get like 3 pushes here on Friday, and we filled that gap. So there's a little micro gap there above us to 1022. So if we end up trading choppy today, filling that gap may end up being what, not choppy, but inside. If we stay inside, mostly it would be posted his Nvidia on watch list. Nice, that's awesome. But I might have to put Nvidia on my watch list as well. Seeing that semiconductors have fallen so hard, it might not be a terrible idea. I have AMD on my watch list, but I may trade it for Nvidia. Nvidia does tend to give better moves, so yeah, I'll put Nvidia up there. But anyway, so Tesla below 980, and this wick, this is 974. So just again, keep it simple, right? We need to break to the downside from here. So if you start to see those hourly candle closes, we don't like to short support. But overall, the overall sentiment on Tesla right now, if you step back, right? So we've already looked at the hourly, you'll see that there is a support down here. And I have the targets of 994, 944.40 and 891 for Tesla to the downside, depending on the trajectory in which we do so. But if you look at the downtrend here and you look at the downtrend here, it's almost repeating patterns. You pull back, you get a little bounce. This one definitely a lot more recovery on that bounce, but regardless, you see that there is no straight line. You know, it does go and retest some of the same levels that it broke. So we'll see what Tesla does today. Anywhere above 1025, 1030, you know, there's the potential retest of 1070 coming. So, all right. Good morning, everybody. What's up? Am I bearish today? That's a good question. So, yes and no. Yeah, I'd say my gut right now, I feel bearish, but I also have this inkling that we could see a bounce. I'm not ruling out earnings sentiment coming into play, and potentially bringing us back up. But the way that everything looks on a technical basis is not good. Um, I think I talked about JD with you guys last week and last night. JD is on my watch list, and one of the targets that I gave for JD was 95 or 55.55, right? I also gave the target of $55. We have dropped down to support. And that's pretty much the name of the game across the entire market is everything's down at support. And because there's a gap down, I believe being at support, we should gap fill first. That's my initial gut feeling is if we're at support, clear supports, then the initial move should be to gap fill. If there is a gap, if there's not a gap, um, you know, on no gap, that's always best. You know, I prefer no gap. But for the most part, I see a lot of things have gapped down to support. So that's kind of my thoughts on that at the moment. So if you, for example, Nvidia is currently there's not much of a gap, if at all. I think it's a few cents. If Nvidia opens up like this, then there's levels like the 213.50 level to retest before moving to the downside. So chart point, we'll do this really quickly. Ooh, damn. Oh, damn. I was on the man. Damn, I was right about that one. Chart point did eventually fall. Ugh. So I think that you're gonna go hit 1466. You're gonna bounce, but ultimately that would be the 50% mark of this pattern. So that would be where I would see that pullback. I mean, you're actually due for a bit of a bounce probably today. Yeah, I would say looking at the price action. So heads up, Australia, Hong Kong, Europe are closed today. Volume could be low and take it easy. Boom, bam, smack. Wow. Let me repeat that. Okay. For anybody who's thinking about whether or not they should trade today. Australia, Hong Kong, and Europe are closed today. Volume could be low, so take it easy. Manny posted that. So if you guys aren't on the Discord, Art by Chris, by the way, I don't have a DM from you on Discord, dude. I need you to DM me immediately. But that's something to keep in mind, right? What does volume bring? Volume brings volatility. As a day trader or an options trader, what do you need? Volatility. What are we set up for? We're set up for an inside day. So I'm gonna leave it at that. You guys have my watch list. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up said watch list right now. We're gonna exchange AMD for Nvidia. I'm gonna set this up on the hourly. Um, I've got Microsoft on board as well. We're going to look at that one. We're going to actually set the 15-minute. All right, we've got JD. I don't know why the 1 minute is on there. This one, if anybody is in any downside, okay, cool. Chris, go check the Discord. You should be good. The live trading chat is down at the bottom. So rather than saying that I'm bearish today, I would say that I'm more or less looking for an inside day, which means that I won't be long. And as a trader, I have to make those type of decisions. And as a teacher, I have to make sure that people see me do those things because if not, I'd be a bad example. So SQ, as you guys know, this one actually does have a pretty good setup, guys. And it is holding in pre-market. This is probably one of the few ones below 118. I'm going to say 118.75. There's a potential 114 target, and I've likely used the 115 contracts for this week to take those. So. All right, so let's do fine. All right. I hope everybody has a plan. I hope you have your levels marked out. If I missed your request, I apologize. But if you don't have a plan, you're going to have anxiety. You're going to probably make bad decisions. And if you make a good decision and you don't know about it, you're also going to be teaching yourself the wrong thing. So make sure that you have a plan. And if you don't see what you need to see, make sure you have a plan to step away. We know what the climate is so far. We're feeling it out. So all there's left to do is react. One of the key things that we talk about is how we make money in the market. We do not make money by hoping or wishing, but by reacting to the market. So best of luck to everybody today. Again, I'm probably going to be. If I don't know if anybody
to the U.S. market open.
If anybody took JD or Baba or anything like that, but if you did take any of those stocks to the downside with me, I do have Baba puts. I will be taking profit on those. I have a $99 put that's up a lot, but it was a runner. Kenneth or I'll have to see if you're on. Let me know, and I might need you to type in my signal chat. Gotcha. Okay, thank you. All right. Baba gap down. Oh, Ivy's taking a minute to catch up.
IMPX and Pixon announcing rebranding of CXF product to in Pixon Experience and Pixon Events and in Pixon CX Briefings.
Not loading anything right now.
Trade IMPX.
What the fuck?
PHIO Pharmaceuticals selected to present at Tumor Immune Micro Environment Workshop at Society for Immunotherapy of Cancer. That's Papa Hotel India Oscar, PHIO.
Guys, I'm my broker is not doing me any favors here at the moment. I don't know if you guys are having any issues right now, but my premiums are not even updating here on JD or excuse me, Baba. So So far, that was only 1 minute, but typical. You build your gap immediately on SPY, so the gap is filled. Now SPY would need to break and hold above 439.80 in order to send us hopefully to the upside. I do see a downtrend potential tap around 442.82. So right now, I think on the top of my watch list is SQ. The unfortunate thing about SQ is the next week's contracts are absolute hot dog water. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to have to play this week, which is not cool at all because I don't want to do that at all.
S&P futures popping here 43.93.
But I'd like to see these contracts spread tighten up a little bit before I take it. Currently, it does look like it's going to pull back to the downside. If anybody, this is where one could leg in if they wanted to, 120 or something like that.
Calls active. Victor Echo Romeo Uniform, BERU.
Okay. All right. Sweet. My BABA contract just updated just now. I'm up 82% on BABA right now. This contract cost me 370 and is now at 690. Wee. All right. So successful swing on BABA. I think I'm going to go ahead and take profit, not be greedy. That's a nice little chunk of change there. I'm going to go ahead and pull up SQ and see if we can't find something to leg into here. Is anybody else's broker going
DD
kind of ape shit right now?
DD January 2024, 2.5 calls active now. Delta India.
Yo, what is going on here?
Delta India, DI.
I think I'm just gonna go with right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just leg into SQ. Yo, what is going on, dude? My broker's bringing up random stocks. I just typed in SQ and it brought up like F. You can go outside the money. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm just gonna grab a 119 here. Smaller, if you have a small account, 112. Small account 112 on SQ. Stop loss here is tight because we're not moving well at the moment at all. But that is going to be 121.75. I am in a light position here. I have 3 contracts. I will leg into more below 119, probably targeting the 115 contracts. So you could take 115 on SQ if you want. The next week's spreads are choppy. They're still going to keep you a little bit safer. But of course, you could get a terrible fill and have a terrible time. So if you're in Microsoft, I still have my Microsoft puts. No. Webull doesn't allow me to deposit money due to insufficient funds, but I have funds in my bank account. Yes, I am in SQ to the downside. I'm trying not to FOMO on Baba, even though it hasn't moved.
10 a.m. Eastern Time. The NAHB Housing Market Index.
Eric, do you hope they pay off, or do you have a good reason why you feel like they're going to pay off? That should be a question you ask yourself while you're holding something. Do you have a good reason, or are you just actually hoping? Because if you're just actually hoping and that's it, then you don't have a plan, and your money is essentially in limbo. There's no stop loss on SQ. I'm gonna go ahead and call. I said 170, 120, 175. I'd still stand by that, but if you want to tighten up that stop loss, I'd say 121.50 due to the lack of volatility right now. Also, if you're in Microsoft, one could go ahead and either hedge yourself the 15-minute candle here. If you guys can see on my screen, look at it. So what we need for this 15-minute candle to do is we need it to close probably down around 279.95, right? The longer this wick is, the better, because that shows us that sellers are pushing down from the structure, and more than likely Microsoft is going to lose it. You guys banking with if you guys are trading with big stepper, man, I'm sure he's smoking it. Oh my god, did you buy the dip, or what did you do that? What did you do there? All right, SQ's not moving. What are you doing? Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is like watching pond water dry. You want me to put it in putter? Yes, please. Yeah, not small account. No, just regular putter signals. Is anybody in McDonald's by chance? I gave my levels for McDonald's. I still have contracts for them. Yeah, in McDonald's, there's a good entry today above 250, 350. So one thing that I want to bring to your attention really quickly that I wouldn't say I'm fearful of, but I am aware of right now, because we're at support, I want you guys do not negotiate with this stop loss. Look at right here. Do you see that? So if we were to reverse, and we're getting close to the next bounce level, that's 119. You guys, if you're scalping SQ or anything of that nature, you know, when I say scalping, I mean a real scalper is going to be using like 10 contracts right here. That's where you could actually trim on that move right there. But what we need to have happen is we need to break below 119. But if we climb back up, this can and will go shoot right back up to one. If the market itself reverses, I would venture to guess that would be the case. Bro, you should peep my beat mans. I always hear you playing good music when you go live. Beats by him. Okay, I will. If it's dope, we'll talk about a licensing agreement for my streams, because I constantly get my YouTube's taken down because I want the people to listen to good music. Die, SQ. Sorry, I kind of came out. You looking for the thing that's right there? There you go. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we'll look into compensation, but I'm actually glad that you said something. Thank you. We die, SQ.
MDVL, MetaVale. Shares getting a pop here, $8.40.
Down there.
Michael Delta Victor Lima, MDVL.
All right. So if one was in a heavier position or whatever on SQ, I'm trying to think about everybody, not just my position. This is definitely a great move. So feel free to take some profit right there if you were scalping. That was an incredible move right there to the downside. We've got 117.76 here.
And Michael Delta, MDVL.
Those were puts. Those were puts on SQ. I hope nobody got calls. Hell yeah, it has room to the downside. I have a target of 111.25, but that might not happen until tomorrow.
2,000 contracts on a trade that's Tango India Golf Romeo, TIGR.
All right, Microsoft looking good. Look at that 15-minute candle, baby. Winter.
There's off the lows now, $4.48 on
So
FinTech.
it's not 100%, but there is a possibility. And guys, this is another take profit target for SQ right here. Depending on what you got, small accounts, even if you went out to 112, you're up around 30%. If you're in a small account, I want to talk to you right now. Don't be greedy on days where you know that there's a possibility that volume could be short. We're getting a really good move to the downside. You're practicing, right? You need to create, if you continually do the same thing, and you repeat the same habits that you would when you have a larger account, right? If you have 30 contracts of SQ and you get a 27% move, that is 100% a day ending trade right there. You can go ahead and walk away. You're done. And we just hit 117.60 and bounced perfectly. So if anybody's in weeklies, you have to know that this is, of course, where this is my bounce level. Now, there is a possibility to, remember, we lose the floor. Floor becomes the ceiling, so we're possibly going to retest the 119.80 level. We could fall further. I'm watching right now on the 15-minute to see how we close, but this is a phenomenal move here to the downside. So my Twitter puts up 70%. Love pump and dump, daddy. Okay. Entry on Nvidia short. The hourly candle's looking shorty. Microsoft was looking kind of shorty, but we need to close the. This is where we could bounce. I think we need to make a definitive move here, but it's hard to get definitiveness when there's not a lot of volume. So nice job, dude. Top shelf crushing VLO. You got into top shelf's play. I love when I see wheeze in the chat. That's good. It's always a good sign. So different people. What the main thing I'm trying to get here is different people are going to have different.
Hearing Bilson, Gordon Haskett out with a call that they believe Square will acquire a firm holding.
That is causing the firm to absolutely send it right now.
Because of a firm getting a pop here, 35.
Do not put money into plays that come off of catalysts like that you are not willing to lose. You can make good money off of trades like this, but you also can lose all of the money. Be careful on that one. Pivot point on a firm is at 36.22. All right, SQ bounced. All right, 15-minute candle. So a 5-minute trader, right? They're going to be looking at the 5-minute candle. Yes, that is a potential reversal candle right here, but it's on the 5-minute. A firm's now pushing above that pivot point. The next target on a firm to the upside would be 36.82. Nice Roku dump. So the 15-minute candle is what I'm most concerned about here on SQ. Again, we have weekly contracts, so we have to, I'm actually going to drag my stop loss down. My stop loss is now at 119.75. 119.75. So if a candle closes above that, sayonara. First of all, wait. They said SQ? Yes, that causes SQ to dump. No. SQ acquisitions and stuff, buying and stuff like that definitely can yeah, I still have Box. You got Box? It's in my other account. Are you green on that? Keep the Box. Square. Sheesh. I'm watching a firm now. I'm seeing if a firm even breaks out. It just tapped that pivot and that's what I'm saying, guys. Anytime news comes out like that, it doesn't happen immediately. Up 21%. Nice. I'm still in SQ. Yes. We're printing right now. You guys should be making good money right now on SQ. It's unconfirmed. Still good enough for
GFI, a
me.
new buy from investors, Business Daily, Golf Foxtrot India, GFI.
Buy the rumor, sell the news, or in this case, sell the news. And if anybody says anything, run like hell. That's cool. Damn, let's go. Damn. Sorry, I get geeked up when you can't bat that out always. When it happens, it's just like ugh. Ugh. Oh yeah, Nvidia looks very short. I'd say Nvidia to 209.70. As long as you hold this to good.
New company naming new president and CEO. Quebec Uniform, Michael Uniform.
Rolly, you graduated from Neo to Coin, dude. I feel like that's badass, man. That's great.
Company naming Rose Bentley as the company's new president and CEO. That's Quebec Uniform, Michael Uniform.
What is this guy talking about? Is there somebody in here wasting their breath? Oh no. What's good today? Well, I'm actually about to be leaving that. Go AA. Let's go. Hell yeah, dude. Rolly, I took that trade off your watch list. Yes. Oh yes. Hella and FCX should be doing great, right? Same setup, exact same setup. I don't know.
BIDI, DD Global shares popped now $2.
No way.
Activity earlier.
Oh, it's still gap down though. Never mind.
Delta India, Delta India.
All right, so we're getting buyers stepping up here on SQ. First tap came off of 116.93, so we lost that. They already failed to hold that. We need to go ahead and clear that level. Let me go look at the. I usually don't like to go to the lower time frame, but yo, straight waterfall from the bell, guys, from 121 to 117. There is a bounce incoming. So I'm going to go ahead and scale out of the majority of my position here, and I am going to leave a runner. So if you guys would like to leave a runner, that runner is worth 170 bucks. It is I added a 112 put towards the end, so that's the one that I'm going to hold on to right now. So I've made good gains here. I'm still in Microsoft to the downside. I actually took Rolly's AA play. I have FCX as well. This one's moving great. I imagine FCX should be around $51 either by the end of the day or by tomorrow. So especially you got Rolly on AA right now, and AA is moving way better than
CASA
FCX.
Systems.
So
moving again, $6.10. 54% today on that deal with Verizon.
rumors.
Shares hitting a high of $6.40 in the pre-market. That's Charlie Alpha, Sandy Alpha, CASA.
So let me talk about something really quickly that just came to my
Natural
mind.
gas futures hitting new high.
So really quickly, I said this. I was kind of mentioning this before. When if you're in a small account, the gains that you may have on SQ right now are probably not. If you have one or two contracts, they're probably not. They're not great, right? They're maybe 40, 50, 70, $80 depending on what contract that you got. If you got size, right, that's different. But that's what I'm talking about here. It is really, really tough, right? When you have one contract to play that one contract and try and capture all of the move. Don't do it. You have one lens to capture the entire move. You can't capture it that way. Yes, there are some people who will just blindly hold, and then you'll see those gains, and it's doing well right now. But at the end of the day, find a place to take profit that is usually in line with one of your key levels, and know that if you keep repeating, even though the gains will not be super impressive, if you keep repeating the same process, you're going to be able to scale up in size, and therefore you don't need to sit as long. You aren't concerned with the entire move, because you don't need that whole move to get the gain that you're looking for. So where you're looking for 1 to do the work of 4, right? With 4, you can leave 1 because you've already done most of the work and made your money. So Nvidia looks great to the downside right there. Great 15-minute candle. That should, I can't see that going anywhere else but 209. Sorry, you guys are looking at my kneecap. Kneecap shot. Yeah, I have a red arrow on my knee. That right there was a stick and poke my friends tried to do when I was like 18 years old. It was a terrible idea. I should have never done that. It was funny though. New here. Do I buy to open a put on SQ or buy to close? So are you on the trial, Worry? Just asking. You should do so I recommend, I don't want to tell you not to, but be careful about buying now. We're making new lows, and I'm currently up and out of the majority of my position. What I have now is just runners. I do think that we could get a good move down to 115 here, potentially before the end of the day on SQ, but we've already moved really, really well. But usually, when I buying a contract, it's, I don't know, not really paying attention to that usually, but it's buy to close. Um, when I do mine, what broker are you on? There's a new low on SQ. But what I was gonna say, man, is if you're kind of like at that level, don't feel pressured to stay, or like stay on the outside if you have to, until you feel a little bit more confident. I would just wouldn't want you having to pay to not be able to really take advantage of what's going on here. I know there's a lot of confusing stuff. A lot of people like to immerse themselves into like a difficult and like into a situation like that because it just helps them learn. I'm one of those individuals. E-Trade, that is one platform I am not familiar with. Dim, are you on right now? Dim's E-Trade Master, I think, right? CEI is a scam. Oh, are you guys playing CEI? Is this Starboy? Is it Starboy? It needs to break. It's gonna reverse at some point and fill that gap. Buy to open, select put. Okay, cool. Yeah, Wheezy, let him know. Thank you, Wheezy. I really appreciate that. Look at that Microsoft hourly candle. You got it, boss. Oh, I am. Oh, that's the 15. Never mind. Oh yeah. Wow. Wow. Haha, yeah. Yo, JD looks nuts. JD is somehow reversing to the upside. What is this blasphemy? Uh, Anybody looking for a day trade, I'm not gonna endorse this, but I'll throw it out there. There is a gap fill on Baba. JD is oddly moving to the upside. Watch 94.11 to gap fill to 95.36. Microsoft. Anybody in Microsoft to the downside from the swing that we took? There goes Nvidia for my target, and I'm sure Big Stepper already roasted that one, but that was a beautiful. You know what that rejection was off of all as well. Off of, remember last night or this morning we were talking about that standard deviation channel, that deviation line. It was off of that. My Nvidia target, no, my it was 209.85, 209.80 somewhere, yeah, 209.80. Below that, yes. No, my target actually is 206.65. Am I being a little bit overzealous? Okay, I'm a little bit too much. 207.40. First target. So we have had nothing but red candles here on SQ, so I'm curious how this bounce is going to play out. Right now, we're lagging behind all of our major moving averages on the lower time frame, right? So as a day trader, we can expect either we stay here or we go there, right? So a lot of the times, the most bullish scenario is going to be the stock goes to the moving average, and the most bearish scenario is the moving average goes to the stock. Does that make sense? Yo, I swear. Yo, Mike, don't sleep. Microsoft will reverse though if it doesn't break any new low. That's why I'm not adding to it because it's just taking its sweet time. CEI personally, I think it's a complete. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, if you're investing in it, that's different. If you're trading it, that's totally different. So, how we doing today, everybody? Don't struggle alone. If you're in the Discord, please let me know what you're looking at. Maybe I can chart something. CF 120s just went green. Lots of calls and full profits. Amazing. Nice job, Top Shelf. So we have 31 minutes here for SQ. 34 minutes. That means that a new 30-minute candle, we can and will. I will be holding you for a long time, BT. There's a couple of stocks that I hold as you have like my like investments, right? And then I have like the future investments. Like I don't like 10 years doesn't I would say maybe that's a little bit too long, but maybe like 5 6 years doesn't matter. You know, I'm investing in the company itself. PLTR, you know, like those type of companies, cannabis companies, you know, stuff like that. So can we look at WBA? Yeah. Why is JD doing that? Why do you do that? Sorry, keep turning up my seat over there. How do I feel about Tesla? That's a pretty broad question. I like the cars. I think Elon. I'm not like a. I don't know. I don't like idolize him. I think he's just an intelligent individual. But I think there's some, as far as the company is concerned, there's definitely something going on. That's probably either really, really well done, so it's not bad, or I don't know, like probably something fishy, book cooking. I don't know. Something feels off. Manny and me have talked about this in depth for a while, so um, I don't know. So looking at Walgreens, looking at this wick is $47. That body candle closed at 44. So the overall pressure right now is to the downside. And I would say that this mark of 45.65, we'll call it 45.50. 45.50 would be a significant mark for Walgreens, but at this point, I think that the next leg down happens below 44.20. So that's Walgreens for me. Yeah, you have a small gap underneath you. Your support is 44.50, below 44.50 and 44.20. you should see continuation to the downside. USA NAHB housing market index for April is 77 versus the 77 estimate. Prior was 79. All right, we're getting some green candles here, guys. I'm cutting Microsoft right now. I will re-enter Microsoft at 279.60. I am out of Microsoft. If you're confident in yourself or you want to hedge it to the upside, do what you do. If you were watching BABA, BABA did just break above that mark. It looks like it's trying to go stretch its arms up to $95, but I still want SQ in my runner. So my runner stop loss is likely S1, which is 119.50. So yes. So think about how much time we just spent. We just waited for the 30-minute. We spent 30 minutes going down. And now we have not broken range. Volume is on Nvidia is average, so it's right about average at the moment. I would say Nvidia is about to go in reverse and test 217.50. If you break above this 215.77 mark, which is where your pivot point is at. But again, this could just be that low volume. We got that initial move here at the bell. And then from here, I think the best thing for me is just start setting alerts. So I'm setting alerts right now on Microsoft. And I can recognize, when the market starts to, when you see a 15-minute candle like this and it gives you a definitive relatively high volume reversal, and then you immediately bounce right back up, guess what? It's probably time to, wait for a definitive break. But if you're just going to keep throwing money at every 5-minute candle, like just go ahead and, yeah, I wouldn't do that. So, could you short on Penn soon because it's about to test that major level as its new resistance? So remember, we buy green and we short red. Now, this structure does look like it's being broken, but again, a daily candle close would be indicative. A bullish daily candle close here or anywhere back above 22 could be indicative of a move back into the structure. Otherwise, a close below that mark, yes, there could be, and that's support, not resistance, but that could be the next level to watch. I would say 17. Obviously, $20 is a psychological mark, but 1977, 1869, 67. Excuse me, 1867 was the mark that I was talking about. All right, so SQ, go look at that hourly candle, guys. Good TP. 10 minutes left in this 15-minute candle close, or in this 15-minute candle. We still have that news about a firm still lurking. We don't have any news on that one. But if you guys are holding that runner, right, I'm gonna let this candle close before I vacate. But more than likely, I'm not even gonna say. I'm gonna go ahead and start packing up. For all intents and purposes, I played it to the downside. We hit our targets. We got out of the majority of our position. My runner is back down to 0, which is no loss to me. It was an out of the money contract. It was up like 30 or 40%. And my swing was green on BABA as well. So I am gonna watch here for just a second. Unicorn, go join, hit the link in my bio, for the Discord. The Discord has a ton of stuff, for exactly that. So, No, not yet. That move on SQ is certainly that's a reversal candle for the most part. I mean, look at that 5-minute candle. It was absolutely insane. Um, you guys remember what I talked about today, though, about the potential, like the wicks up here. So it again, there is no move to the upside for me. All I see right here, guys, is a hard retest of the same levels that we broke. So we either retest it and we reject, or we break back up into it and we look to play it to the upside. So watch it above 121.50. That's the first level to watch, and then the pivot point and this key level of 123. That would be where I would want to take SQ long. Otherwise, there's no trade for me on that. If anything is hitting your stop loss, make sure you guys are abiding by those stop losses. Do not compromise. Compromising today is ruining your opportunities tomorrow. Sound like a postcard. All right. Any other questions in the Discord, guys? I'm going to take a look at AMD here, see where we're at in the channel. Would you look at that? How are those levels, man? I tell you what, there's levels to this. Literally. That level was money. Look at that. That's pre-market lows. 91.84. Y'all saw me drop that line here this morning, and I haven't looked at it since. Look at that. Money. Money. So watch AMD, right? Ceiling becomes the floor. Same setup everywhere. Everything has the same setup right now. 94.80 on AMD for a reversal to the upside. But right now, it looks like you're retesting. If you retest, because this retest was so vigorous, expect a kind of consolidation type trading in here if you can't break to the upside. So you may have enough volume to chop, but you might not have enough volume to totally break out. So far the red to green prediction's playing out, but let's see if it's actually going to hold green. Did anybody take BABA by chance? It's only moved 75 cents, but it is green. I didn't signal it, and nor did I take it, but I just wanted to ask because I threw it out there for you guys as a potential setup. Apple? Yeah, oil's moving. Listen, I don't even have to worry about trading oil because I could just literally take top shelf signal. And I usually don't say that, but top shelf, he knows, right? Sometimes you just know. He's got a lot of experience in the game, so more than anybody that I know. Anybody trade US 30, easiest trade I've ever seen. Look at Microsoft rejection. Yuck. All right. So Apple, 15-minute candle close right now. You've got a immediate gap fill to the upside, but what you also got was a test, right? You literally tested 165.75. That was your ceiling. Now you have a small rejection. I think this candle is pretty definitive here because below 164, yes, I believe Apple will drop down to the 163.30, maybe even lower, 162. To the upside, right? It's the same level that you tested. It's 165.50. And then from there, the pivot point, just like everything else. So Genius Brands expands cartoon channel on Roku. Genius. I do not play thus. Genius. Gotta be that. Oh man, this. I'm so glad I don't get any requests for this anymore. All the lost souls that I've met. on GNS. So what I would recommend doing here is all of those levels that you're watching, right? Set alert on them. The downside, set an alert on them. SQ is building up to the upside right now, so keep your eyes peeled on that. But are you guys oh, can I check McDonald's? So I'm using this point of control, which is 248.40. That's my stop loss. Period. End of story. McDonald's has a good setup. I really like it. It's still holding the daily flag. And I just want it to stay above that 248 level. So what it does between now and then, you know, it's kind of irrelevant, but as long as it holds that level, the only thing that I'm weary about is earnings, which is soon, April 28th. So my personal opinion is that it may be earnings that sends McDonald's up and on its way. If you do pull this, and I've been speculating, this may be resistance for McDonald's, which in turn would drop McDonald's on earnings because you've technically run up on earnings, back up to your original earnings price from last earnings. So if you look at it, we're literally at the same mark that we were last earnings. So it would be my thoughts here on McDonald's that now earnings is taking over. So um, that sentiment's likely playing out. That's what you're seeing here. And that's kind of funny because a lot of the times you will find that stocks will go back to their previous earnings price, especially if the guidance was flat or something like that. So Twitter is going up. I don't know. I'm not trading it. Yep. Look at it. Look at the little tiny. Do you guys, man, money, money, money. Wow. I love falling wedges. Look at that thing, right? So right now you've got 47.10 and 47.50 to reject. Look at that. We talked about that this morning, guys. Literally in pre-market, charted. Man, that's cool. I like that. SQ is building, yeah. But we'll see what it does. All right. I will likely be back on before the bell, or excuse me, before power hour. Today, I do got to go run to everywhere on Earth here. So I'll be back possibly around 12, 1 o'clock. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. And then we'll rock out at power hour. But to be honest with you guys, this is going as predicted. We saw that first initial move, and now we're seeing nothing. So I think it's, I mean, we're seeing a couple of reversals. We saw SQ, but SQ, I think, stays in range or starts to slowly bleed back down. But again, like what happens here, we could trade like this and have these big hourly candles, and then make 4 or 5 of them until the end of the day and then just dump. So Nvidia, I still have it above that pivot point. So if you look at right there, that's 217.36 and 218.31. Both of those need to be broken to get to the upside. The overall setup right now on the video is just hot garbage. Let me see something really quickly. As far as like a clean trend, Let me see. Dynamic. Ooh, that's pretty far away. Like I said, you're at support. You're at support, and anywhere above that 220 mark, 221.75 and 224 are both levels to watch. This actually may end up, if it does in fact bounce, we could see Nvidia start to climb back into the 230s, like I said this morning. And I do see this downtrend here. And then there's our lower time frame downtrend as well. So I would confirm that, yeah, above 224, Nvidia could give us a move into the 230s, 240s. Otherwise, today, like I said, you can't, especially with low volume, we can't expect for a super high volatility day to give us a sense of a meaningful direction. So I am done for now. We need to come back. We come back at power hour if needed. That's right. So this is where having obviously something to go do, hobbies, other things that you're working on to create passive income, whatever that may be, start to work on it. Mark out your levels, set your alerts, keep your news on, and go do your thing. So I hope you guys were green. I made some pretty good money today. That's okay. Listen, if you sell way too early, then maybe you're a scalper and you just don't have the size to take advantage of it. Think about it like that. Just keep doing that thing that you're doing, and then if you're making money, yeah, I mean it sucks, but yeah, I mean it's just part of it. So slow incremental gains. It's really not even about the dollar amount. If you're getting a 30-40% gain on one contract, that's the goal. You're doing the thing that you need to do. And if you're scalping, that's plenty. You guys saw very well SQ. That, I mean, really, that's about as good as a move I could have asked for. I still exact same set. Yo, hold on a second. Shit. I think Facebook reverses is, I mean, right now the market's looking, because it's not breaking support. If you don't break support, you're probably going to bounce off of it. So if we don't break support today on the Qs, whatever else, yeah, Facebook down. But to the upside, 214. I'm actually going to send an alert on this right now. That would be the breaking downtrend, 214.40. And then from there, I think an easy target. One could grab a longer expiration contract. Looking at the 218.16 somewhere in there. But yeah, that's what I would say. So I had to hear you tell me to take profit and walk away, even though I only had 2 puts SQ2 contract. I took it and all that crazy anxiety went away. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's awesome. Leonid, I think I said that right. Chernos, Leonid. I hope I'm saying that right. But once you get done with the mechanical, you got to build the mechanics. And you know what messes up mechanics? Money. Seeing big dollar signs, seeing a lot of money coming in, that kind of thing can hurt. Yeah, I can look at that really quick. You said Holly Burton? Oh, that's not it. Is somebody talking and I can't hear them? Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. I was like, I'm not talking. You guys are talking to yourselves. Hold on, I gotta change my output. Low raspberries or something, dude.
What's up?
There you are. Found you. Hallie Burton.
How was the open?
Good. I mean, we got a good move at I played SQ did a nice little scalp on that one around 119, 119.90 break. That one moved down pretty well. I swung BABA runners. That one went pretty well. I had Microsoft. I cut those. At this stub. Excuse me. But no, it's everything is at support right now. So we don't short. I don't short support unless. Yeah, exactly. I love Potter Stock's pronunciations, man. There should be a compilation of the best ones. Listen, if it's not important, I'm just moving on, all right? That's how I see it. I don't know. I just, I just look over the word. It's the meaning that's what I want to know. Right now, this hourly candle is speaking reversal. Just stick to the stickers. People said the same thing with Alcola. Alacola, yeah, you know I think it's a I get it from Pensacola, um, like Pensacola, and then I don't know, whatever. Yeah, it's a long story. It's like the way that like word structures sometimes, like it looks this like I see Alcola and like I immediately think Pensacola.
Yeah, I like those word association.
Yeah, yeah, word structures as well. So, um, anyway, your HAL. I'm gonna start pronouncing the actual letters. I would say 4180. I could take the pivot points off that one too. Yeah, so I mean that honestly looks like it wants to pull back, possibly even giving you a pullback to $40.75, which could just be a retest before taking out. Bale, ballet. Yeah, but why doesn't it have that thing at the E or the end of the E? I'm not an English major. What? Yeah, isn't there supposed to be like a fancy little thing? Yeah, a tilde. I think English might be one of my like. I didn't really pay it. Yeah, I can't. English is? Yeah, yeah. You explain Arabic to me, dude. I'm just kidding. I look at Arabic and I'm like, wow, that it's so Mandarin. Yeah, I worked at a restaurant that was they hired me um, just as like no because I was just a white dude. So like they needed a white dude. But SQ guys is moving to the upside, guys. It looks like we're gonna get retested. Microsoft, a good cut. That one's breaking to the upside as well. Damn. I'd say based on that pattern that we have on Microsoft, guys, that Microsoft should be around 284 before the end of the day. There you go. Yeah, the little E at the end.
I think if we don't reverse soon on the Qs, we can continue to see some upside to 343 today,
Mm-hmm.
342.96. I'm surprised it's me with that 100.
All right. Well, pretty good day, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I'll be back around lunch, power hour, sometime in there. If anything interesting happens, draws me in, I'll be back before then. But otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and no, I didn't. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to hop off here. Before I go, guys, I'm gonna grab a Facebook call. You do not have to do this with me. But I'm gonna keep a tight stop on it. The stop is gonna be 211.85. I'm gonna go with a next week's contract, so April 29th. And I'm gonna grab the shit, man. Those are expensive. Oh, do they have earnings soon? April 27th. Shit. IV is jacked up. Do they have earnings? Is that what we said? Yeah, Tesla got they opened production back on in Shanghai. Nice. For a stranger. Hi. Wow. You look adorable. Wow. I love your skirt and your pigtails. Oh my goodness. You look so cute today. You said you getting ready for the rain? It's gonna rain.
Outside.
Oh.
What did you?
Yeah, there's just like a really strong volume that's on Monday.
There is strong volume, but there's no break in range. Like we're still inside. You know what I mean? Like and like for example, like SQ, I'm looking at it right now, like it pivot is 123, right? Even if it hits that, if you go step out and look at the hourly, it's not enough to like fully signify a reversal. Although that wick, oh god, actually SQ's wick looks great. Go look at SQ's hourly wick.
Hourly lit.
Yeah, yes. Um, all right.
Wow. What a recovery you.
All right. Guys, these are kind of expensive, and I think that's because earnings are right around the corner. I was looking to just day trade this. So if you're in a small account, obviously, that might not be the space for you. But I'm gonna grab a 217.50 call, or excuse me, a 220 call for Facebook for April 29th. And I'm gonna hold it as a day trade while I'm gone, if the Qs continue to move up. So, what were you gonna say?
Tesla volume today is interesting.
Tesla has that really nice gap.
Yeah.
It also has the 9-day moving average at 1022.65. So I would say that 1016 is your next
Yeah.
10 12, and then 1016, and then that gap, which is 1022.64 on the dot. So 9-day moving average and the gap are both adhering to the same price. So
If it can clear that 10, 12, 10, like the 1012 to 1008 area,
25K.
gonna make it to that 1020 area.
Yeah. Alrighty. I feel like I've said bye like 9 times, but I will. I'll see you guys later. Have a good afternoon. I hope you guys are green. If you're not, I got a 220 strike for next week on Facebook. You can go out a little bit further, but please, if you have a different strike, have a different stop loss. Okay? Do not have the same stop loss as me, because of my stop loss for my contract is obviously I'm using that as the. So if your expiration is shorter, then I have said bye more than the Backstreet Boys. That was good. I don't know. Baby Bob. In sync? I don't know. Were there any differences, or were they the same people? I think in 100 years, if they were to dig up any like archaeology, archaeologist, they would dig up the Backstreet Boys in sync, and they'd be like, oh, these are the same individuals. They were cloning people back then. Nice. That's what I'm saying, Rogue. Pump Spy? Bro, what are you talking about, Pump Spy? I can't Pump Spy. Nobody pumps Spy. Wish I knew how to read those charts and start learning how to read them. It's not that hard. Your brain is meant for pattern recognition, which is what this is. All right, farewell. Bye.